Brands from around the world want to sell their products in China. After all, the country is home to a 1.4 billion strong market, a population no other nation can fully match. But there's one problem. Business leaders from Steve Jobs to Elon Musk have to deal with in exchange for that market access. Many major brands have gotten dragged into years-long legal disputes to protect their trademarks. And to make things worse, the Chinese court system won't necessarily side with the established brands. Sometimes the real brands are even forced to apologize and pay millions of dollars in compensation to their copycats. That's all made possible by a practice known as trademark squatting. It's a technique often used by Chinese companies. First, they register trademarks for famous foreign brands, then sit on them. That way, when the real brand enters the China market, they can then sue the owner and demand money. The practice has survived because of a policy under the country's trademark law, which follows a first file, first serve principle, meaning whoever registers the trademark first gets it. Whereas in the U.S., it's given to the first company to widely use it. In this special report, we look at 7 companies that found themselves caught in the trap. Number 1, Apple. The world's second most valuable publicly traded company is one of the biggest victims of China's trademark law. It all started back when Apple first planned to introduce its signature product, the iPhone, to the Chinese market. The company soon found itself in a legal battle over the trademark because iPhone was already registered to a Chinese electronics maker. Apple later paid over $3 million to get the trademark transferred so that it could legally sell iPhones in China. The same fate later struck another of its star products, the iPad. Chinese courts banned Apple from selling its signature tablets in the country, as a Chinese company called ProView International already held the trademark. In 2012, after losing the case in several courts, Apple paid $60 million to ProView and settled the case. And those aren't the only Chinese companies Apple has had to deal with. In 2016, the tech giant lost another lawsuit against a Chinese firm that makes wallets, handbags, smartphone cases, and other leather goods. Its products all bear the name iPhone. A Chinese court rejected Apple's request to stop the company from using the trademark. Apple's legal battles in China continue today. Right now, the company is being sued for over $1 billion in damages by a tech company. The case marks the most expensive payout ever requested by a Chinese company from a foreign firm over patents. The company, Shanghai Zhizhen, alleges that Apple's voice recognition technology Siri violated its patent. The suit could potentially prevent Apple from selling many of its products inside China. On top of these disputes, Apple has to cope with the rampant counterfeit products produced in the country. China is even home to a near flawless yet fake Apple store. Reports say employees who work there genuinely believe they work for Apple. That sums up the ordeal for America's second largest company. Now let's turn to another top tech giant, which hasn't been spared from the China headache either. Next on the list, the U.S.'s 4th largest company, Amazon. The online shopping giant is banned from using its cloud computing logo Amazon Web Services, or AWS, in China. That's after the company lost a lawsuit earlier this year against a Chinese software firm. Beijing-based ActionSoft sued Amazon for trademark infringements in 2018. ActionSoft claimed that it had already registered the trademark, but Amazon said it started using AWS as early as 2002. The Chinese court ordered Amazon to stop using the term and pay over $10 million in compensation to ActionSoft. Elon Musk's Tesla couldn't escape either. The popular U.S. electric car manufacturer had its trademark registered in 2006 by Chinese businessman Zhang Baoshen in both English and Chinese. After Tesla entered China's market, Zhang sued for infringement. Tesla eventually settled what's done privately in 2014, recovering the rights to its trademark. It remains a mystery how much Tesla paid to the Chinese man, who said he was very satisfied with the result. At the same time, scores of small Chinese business owners have also been chasing the supposed good fortune brought by the name of Tesla's founder, the world's richest man. A recent report found the 5-character literal Chinese translation of his name, Elon Musk, has been used by a whopping 273 Chinese companies without permission. Among them, Elon Musk Technology in Hainan Province, Elon Musk Restaurant in the city of Hancheng, and Shenzhen City's Elon Musk Clothing Store. A similar problem struck yet another famed household name belonging to businessman, media personality, and 45th President Donald Trump. In 2006, Trump applied to trademark his namesake Trump and its 2 Chinese translations. He had been looking to use them for hotel and interior design businesses inside China. But the country's trademark office told the real estate tycoon he couldn't use his own name to do business in China. That's because a Chinese man named Dong Wei registered the same trademark 14 days earlier. Trump and his business empire fought the legal battle for nearly 10 years, getting rejected at least 4 times along the way. It was only after he was elected president of the United States in 2016 that Chinese authorities ruled Dong Wei's trademark invalid and approved Trump's application. Trump isn't even the only U.S. president to face this issue. When President Barack Obama was in office, more than 20 companies in China registered the literal Chinese translation of his name for trademark. Coming in at number 5 on our list, Moji marks a more recent case. The Japanese household goods retailer is known for its minimalist design philosophy. The simplistic and quality products gained global popularity, and the company now has over 900 stores around the world. But Moji recently lost a lawsuit to its Chinese copycat. On November 4th, the Japanese company was ordered by a Chinese court to publicly apologize and pay over $60,000 worth of economic losses to its Chinese lookalike. Moji's trademark in Chinese is Wu Ying Liangping. The logo was written in traditional Chinese characters, the form commonly used in Taiwan and Hong Kong. Its Chinese copycat, owned by Beijing Cottonfield Textile Company, instead registered the trademark in simplified Chinese characters. Up next, New Balance. This February, American sportswear brand New Balance failed in its attempt to invalidate the trademark of its name in Chinese. A Chinese company called Guangzhou New Balance holds the rights to it. It too sells sneakers, many of which seem to bear a striking resemblance to the American brand. But this isn't the first time New Balance lost a battle with Guangzhou New Balance. The Chinese company successfully sued New Balance for trademark infringement in 2015, winning itself hundreds of thousands of dollars in compensation. The American company also had to publish apologies to the copycat on its official website and in online stores. Though in a separate, more recent case, New Balance did nail a victory against a Chinese company called New Barlin over its signature N logo. Yet another person who can attest to Chinese trademark aggravation is Michael Jordan. After an 8-year legal battle, the former NBA star still doesn't own the rights to his name in China. But he does get some proceeds from his Chinese copycat. Late last year, Jordan won a case over Chinese sportswear company Qiaodan Sports. The word Qiaodan is the phonetic English spelling of Jordan's name as translated to Chinese. Qiaodan Sports used the namesake without Jordan's authorization. For decades, the Chinese athletics company has been selling products that feature a seemingly familiar logo, the silhouette of a jumping basketball player. It reflects clear similarities to Jordan's Nike Jumpman logo. The NBA star's name has brought huge profit to the Chinese company. It altogether registered about 200 trademarks related to Jordan, including his former jersey number 23, and even the Chinese names of his 2 sons. Back in his heyday in 2003, the firm saw its sales increase by 600%. It went public in China in 2011 and now operates nearly 6,000 stores across China. Since 2012, Jordan has filed 80 lawsuits against the Chinese retailer. The painstaking dispute finally ended last year, with Jordan getting $46,000 for what were labeled emotional damages. On the other side, the Chinese company can still use some of its trademarks, as long as they indicate there is no connection between their company and Michael Jordan. It is difficult to estimate the economic damage Jordan and his brand suffered because of the dispute. That rounds off our list of companies that have fallen victim to China's trademark squatting. But the true list is actually much longer. In fact, the problem has made its way into the U.S. Trade Representative's office. Specifically, the USTR office's annual review of whether China has upheld its promises to the World Trade Organization. The USTR called China out for bad faith trademark registration in 2020. The Chinese regime did amend its trademark law, promising to crack down on the practice. But the office still complains that U.S. companies across industry sectors continue to face Chinese applicants registering their marks and holding them for ransom, or seeking to establish a business building off of U.S. companies' global reputations.